call this check odd comma even. Always the function will be terminated with the okay. Now expected expression check odd even. See now here try to understand what I did here. I have created how many functions. This is one function, add function. This is the sum function. Okay, this is the check odd even function. So but I have calling them not sequence wise. Sum function is the mid function, second function. So I have called that first function I called in second order. So this is the first function I am calling this one. Okay, the third function I am calling at the end. So if you compile this code, so it is first number, it is requesting for first number. Suppose if you enter first 7, so that is 7 is integer number. The code you have written in this function, sum function. So as per your order, some second function is being executed. Now put somewhat number, one more number, that is equal to 5, that is also int, and 7 plus 5 12. That is the sum of this, sum of number 1 number 2 numbers. Next it is requesting for first enter first number. Enter first number means where it is requesting for enter first number. It is class integer 2 times, it is 4. Now after that this first this is what add function is being executed. Next enter a number. So number, now given number is odd. So this is the, now these all different independent functions. Okay, these are all independent functions. Suppose in this function if I want to do some work, suppose a user whenever, suppose see what happened if you compile this code, enter a number. So here you are expecting integer number, but if I pass any float number, so it gives error. Okay, the code in line 14th code stops, interpreter stops at the line 14 because invalid literal for int with base 10. So what is the meaning of this interpreter of Python stating that, try to understand, you have passed float value, but you have used int function type conversion to convert this string type of data integer, but you are entering what 6.8, it is a float value. It is called literal, float literal. So invalid literal means the value, literal means value, float value you have passed for int function. This is you have used int function with the base 10. Base 10 what? Base 10 means, for int means integer function. Integer all decimal function, decimal numbers. Integers, all integers, they are the decimal numbers. They are not decimal numbers. They are called what? Normally they are decimal numbers, means their base is what? 10. Their base is what? 10. So float you have passed here, this value means this float literal means value, passed float literal you have passed for int function. So int function always you need to use integer only, but by mistaken user pass that moment. So if you change this as float function, so this you change this as float, so then what happened? So whatever the number, if compile this code, even though user feeds float number, no issue. One float you have passed float, that is converted into float. one integer number. So even the integer number if we passed, but that will be converted into float. Okay, so 8.8.7, 16.7. So again this is being executed again and again, because reason, try to understand what the here at the end you have requested for the execution of the, but in the middle also you are calling this function. That's why two times it is being called. So at the end you are requesting for this function, and at the middle also you are requesting the function. That's why it is executing second time also. Okay, so if you pass only integer number, now it is converted into float, and one more integer number 8, it is converted into float, and 8 plus 5, 13.0. Okay, the answer. After that, next this add function will be called. So this is the result of add function. After that, final this function will be called. That is what your, if you put any number, lengthy number you have given number is even. Okay, so these are called what, functions, built-in, not built-in functions, user defined functions we can create in a Python. You can put all this line of code under one function. You can keep all this line of code in one function. For that moment, simply you comment this one, you comment this one. Okay, now by this add function you comment this one and you comment this one. Only by add function the total line of code will be called. Okay, you comment this one. Okay, understood. Now only the total line of code, this line of code, these line of code will not be read by the interpreter of Python. Okay, next continuation 4 lines, next from here 5 lines, these 4 lines, 9 lines, these 4 lines, 4 5 6 lines, 1 2 3 4 5. This line of code total will be executed under only one function, add function. If you compile this, if you run this one, enter first number, put any number, one more number, enter a number. So the total line of code. So now this function, add function, having this much of code. So these are called, what is the use of built-in function, user defined functions use. No need to write the code. Once you write the code, that code will be kept with the name, a name, so that will be called repeatedly. Okay, to write the less code. Once the function code written and the function will be called, so that line of code will be executed. Now try to understand that. Now see, whenever this total line of code kept under a class addition, class name addition, now this function, add function, have this much of code. Now this total this function is part of a class addition. Now this will be called user defined, not function, user defined method. Okay, you can call it. So now under this method, the total, this line of code, if you want to call this method, you need to create the object. Object created would be anything, you can keep object name. So this is here no